going to distinguish integrity from morality and ethics. I mean, when you distinguish morality and ethics as a domain in and of themselves, which has a workability that is limited, then you begin to see the issues or the problems that could arise when you are addressing something that simply either works or it doesn't work. So it could be said that integrity is like a law, like the law of gravity. Integrity, it just is. It's not right or wrong, it's not good or bad. And just like the law of gravity, if you try to defy or break the law of gravity, you will get hurt. The law of gravity works whether you like it or not, whether you defy it or not, whether you follow it or not, whether you believe in it or you don't believe in it. There is no case in which gravity is not at work. To say that I believe in gravity or I believe gravity is a good thing, people that don't have gravity are bad, only people with gravity are good. Can you see how simplistic and sort of beside the point that conversation would become? Most of us have received our information about what integrity is from people who never actually examined what integrity is, and so they were handed down a right, wrong, good, bad, moralistic value judgment about integrity. And so we're left with, as children, that somehow only really, really good people have integrity. And if I don't have integrity, then I must be one of those bad people. And so because I don't want to suffer the consequences of being a bad person, and I want to be a good person, I must look as if I have integrity. And so because human beings are brilliant at mimicking, that's how we learn language, that's how we learn to walk, that's how we learn facial gestures and what they mean. That's how we learn so many things, is because we are brilliant. They say monkey see, monkey do. Well, we're the smartest of all the monkeys. We can see and mimic, make our voice sound like, make our posture be like, make our eyes and facial expressions appear to be something they are not. We're very good at mimicking or masquerading. Human beings are brilliant at that. We're the best liars on the planet. If we fundamentally believe that we're one of those wrong persons because we've done things that we've been scolded for as children, we've been shouted at, we've been smacked by our parents, we've been embarrassed publicly by our teachers and coaches, we may have even been threatened and physically injured over things that we shouldn't have done or that they said we shouldn't have done. And so we were made to be wrong, and we were also told in not so subtle ways that somehow this thing called integrity was the sort of magic potion or the medicine or the good fix for all of this wrongness that we have. So because we could never quite be right with ourselves and with everybody else, we could never please everybody all of the time and be true to ourselves as well, we have a background conversation that we're somehow wrong or immoral or unethical or unworthy of being admired, loved, supported, honored, cherished. And so we mastered, I mean really mastered, this idea of looking good, looking like I'm a good person, or I'm an honest person, or I'm an ethical person, or I wouldn't think of doing anything dishonest. Of course, I would only do the right thing. We've learned all the gestures of somebody who feigns humility, who fakes humility. It's masking that we don't really feel right or honest or good or true about ourselves, and so we are attempting to look good and to be good and to appear good so as to receive the rewards of the good people and to not receive the punishment, the embarrassment, and the isolation of the bad people. This whole good, bad, right, wrong conversation that you and I have grown up into and have inherited as human beings, regardless of our culture, the effect on your physiology, on your automatic nervous system, on your brainstem, on your posture, the effect on your health, on your relationship with other human beings, such that you could never actually truly be who you really are. You should never tell really and expose yourself truly. The profound effect of that has been that we grew up learning that the way to survive, the way to get on around here, the way to get along with others and to have the rewards is to present a false face, to present a way of being and appearing that appeared to be something that we ourselves truly did not believe. In other words, without truly believing in yourself and presenting yourself as you truly are, there's always some doubt as to whether you're worthy of love, worthy of all the good things that, remember, those good people get. And there's always this fear that you're driven to move away from, fearfully, all those bad things that the bad people get, right? You know those people that you meet and you fall in love with them as soon as you meet them and you can't wait to be around them again, and you want to marry them and you want to make love to them and you want to do everything for them and cherish them and honor them and take good care of them. Guess what they're doing? They're doing the same thing you're doing, trying to look good and avoid looking bad, trying to be lovable and to appear to be honorable and have this thing that nobody really quite has examined thoroughly. They're attempting to appear to have integrity. It's not integrity that they're attempting to have. They're not actually attempting to have integrity, because you already have that. You don't have to try. You already have integrity. You came with it. It's inborn. It's part of you. It's a who you are phenomenon. However, what doesn't have integrity, what has no integrity, what's the opposite of integrity, is appearing or attempting to appear or to present oneself as having something that they've never thoroughly examined and certainly don't understand, because everybody else said it was the right thing to have, this thing called integrity. So can you see what a lie that would be, which would be the opposite of even our own idea of what integrity is, right or wrong, good or bad, moralistically or ethically correct? If you have this idea that maybe lying or appearing to be something that you're not might not be ethically or morally correct, then you're even breaking your own morals and ethics when you attempt to appear that you are something that you are not. And I'm not saying that you're not. Just because you don't believe that you are, just because you believe you have no integrity, just because you believe that you are lacking in honor, just because you believe that you haven't lived up to your fullest potential, does not mean that it is true. What's true is that you and I are born with an innate sense of integrity, just like we are born with an innate knowledge of gravity. You understand gravity before you ever get out of the womb. Before you're ever born, there is a sense of gravity and understanding of that. We all understand that there's a downness to things, and just like there is a downness to things that is consistent and constant, and you can count on it, and if you learn to befriend it, if gravity serves you, then your life becomes very easy. Because then you begin to learn to use gravity in ways, wondrous and delicious ways that actually are very creative. And just like gravity, without integrity, nothing works. If there was no gravity, nothing would work. Without integrity, nothing works. It simply does not work. So integrity is completely devoid. It's completely distinct. It's separate from morals. With morals, there's got to be something that's right and something that's wrong. You can't have wrong without right, and you can't have right without wrong. There's no just right. There's no just wrong. They are absolutely dependent upon each other. You take away one and the other one disappears. So there is no right or wrong in integrity. I'm not saying that there's not things that are right and not things that are wrong in the world of morality and ethics, but if you look underneath what they say is right and what they say is wrong, what you will find is a very constant principle, and there was simply that people made it wrong because it doesn't work. People made it right because it works. So right and wrong is merely an afterthought, a report, a judgment or an evaluation of something that just is. If I drop this paper and it falls to the ground, that just is what it is. That's in harmony with a principle called gravity that is there whether I like it or not and whether I call it right or not. Now, if I drop this paper and it falls to the ground and I go, that's the right thing to do, and any paper that doesn't fall to the ground is wrong and is evil and bad, it's like if I made up a story about just what works or doesn't work and I called it right or wrong. And then later we came along and said, well, good people do the right thing and then bad people do the wrong thing, so they're wrong and bad. Really all it is just what works and doesn't work. And it's vitally, vitally important. If you want your life to work, if you want to have vitality, if you want to have success, if you want to have ease and grace and poise and power, real personal power to cause things and make things happen, once you grasp this distinction that it's not right or wrong, good or bad, it's simply what works and doesn't work, then your life becomes very simple because you simply, instead of saying, oh, what's the right thing to do, you can simply ask yourself, well, what has the most integrity? What works? What works here? And a whole other part of your brain starts to open up. It actually gets happy because then the answers are available. The answers are available free of judgment and morality and guilt and shame and all of those kinds of things that come along with a lot of the decisions that you have to make in life. If you want to be happy, successful, if you want to have love and joy and vitality in your life, you will inevitably have to make some decisions in your life that will be difficult or painful. You will come up against choices and decisions in your life in which you will be called upon to make very tough and sometimes painful decisions that may hurt yourself and they may hurt others. And you have to ask yourself what's going to work. And if you are overwhelmed by blame, shame, guilt, right, wrong, good, bad, and you may or may not make correct decisions. If your decisions and choices in life are made towards what works and what doesn't work, then you will be able to move forward in ways that will baffle others. Others will be astounded at how you move forward and advance in life, and it will seem almost miraculous to those who don't understand the laws of simple integrity. These are the principles behind what we're teaching at Embrace Growth so that you can have more power, more love, more joy, more fulfillment, more success in your life. Okay, so we'll be back on Love Talk.